conversion attempt forthcoming. From the gun, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Well, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and it'll bring up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. 20, 10, 5. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup.
One man in the backfield, that's King. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Touchdown.
Lamar Jackson. He flat out can't be stopped. And the Ravens capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind, you're thinking Lamar Jackson getting the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Oh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Haskins and the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Under pressure, they got him again. Pernell McPhee in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. Open man here, Sims complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Touching offense.
So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's a sight familiar to Ravens fans. Matthew Judon, a 2019 Pro Bowler, he led the Ravens with a career-high 9.5 sacks in 2019. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Edwards. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
He was brought down by Cole Holcomb.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. First down and more for Jackson. There he goes right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Sometimes with Lamar Jackson, I just step back in absolute awe. He's absolutely sensational, and with most quarterbacks, it's the first 3 seconds after the snap that you worry about what they're going to do. With him, if there's any additional time, you really have to worry as he breaks off another big run for a touchdown.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.